to pop up a password for you that everybody's going to need to write down in terms of being able to go through the authentication and sign-on process. And then I'll send an email out, whether it's later on this evening once we get some more clarification from IT. And then I will wrap things up with one last slide. And please feel free to ask questions as we're going through each of the sections. It is a lot, but it's really good stuff in terms of us moving forward. So let me share my screen here. Okay. It'll pull up. Just a little bigger. Okay, so the 2024 field planning tool. So this tool is all about improving our tools to drive quality, accountability, and a more proactive approach. The new field planning tool is on Power BI, so that's the platform that we're going to take you through. It's a it's Microsoft software, so just like Excel, Word, um, PowerPoint, it's called Power BI. The intent is that it'll make your jobs much easier. So all the information you use every day doing your jobs out in the field, for the most part, it's going to all be in one place, which I think is huge. You're going to be able to look at order status, expected delivery dates, um, days late on visits. So if for some reason you're out, you were sick, something happened, somebody couldn't cover for you, and in terms of servicing the store when it should be serviced, and it shows up late, it'll tell you how many days it's late, and really help you then prioritize, especially if you have a lot of stores, and or if you actually schedule your visits. It'll help you prioritize your route to kind of go get caught up, and then just create the awareness that we need to get somewhere, because as we all know, we don't want to be late for our customers. We will go through shipping reports that a newer shipping report on Power BI that will still have the UPS tracking link, which we all use frequently. And then it will actually be able to, it'll allow for order tracking, basically from when you order to the DC to then when it's to the store. You'll kind of be able to see the different phases that your order is actually in, so you can actually be more on the planning and the proactive side, rather than just kind of waiting for it to kind of see where it is. And you'll even be able to see if something's kind of late, if it left the DC late, so you could plan for that, as well as the potential if for some reason it were to be split ship, it'll help with that. We also have a much more information for grid information. So now all of y'all on Repsly can basically, for each store, see what's on the grid in that store. It's not the most user friendly. It was pretty much the only way we could get that from Prelude to Repsly. So we're going to give you a lot more information at the store level, and information to be able to kind of look into that and dig in a little bit if you need to. So it's super good for new hires as well, because it just gives them a much better view of what's in their store, as well as a little bit easier access to planograms. Let me see here. The other thing it will show is visibility to last order placed. So you can kind of see your last orders. We'll talk a little bit about, if you haven't heard already, as we've been focusing more and more on quality, it's going to show you for your orders what percentage of planogram you've actually ordered based on that store and what's in the grid. And then you'll also be able to look at, should excite people that service Kroger. You could be able to look at lines ordered and cuts that were made, in terms of they didn't get sent from what you ordered, they got cut from the invoice and from that order, because our team doesn't have access to that on invoices and Kroger like they do for Albertsons and Safeway. So great stuff there. So a couple of call outs here in green. So this is an actual picture of this on my tablet. It looks a little overwhelming, but it really isn't if you just kind of take the time, and we'll walk you through each of the columns and the metrics. Somebody say
sorry,
something?
we can't.
Mike, we're not
sorry.
seeing it.
Oh, really? All right, so hold on a second. Something must have, I think something popped up on my screen and it removed it. So I'll share again. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
2 seconds. You guys should be able to see it now.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me make it big again. So a couple call outs here in green. Like I said, these are important things. So we actually did a pilot with about 15 reps and some district managers and the RMs. We've already trained all the district managers and the senior reps on this as well, to really test the tool, to provide feedback, to make sure we had all the information on there that people would want, make sure we have everything on there that we have today that we use, as well as added some visibility to information that you in the field has really never seen to help it make it better. The tool, like I said, will be right on your tablet as shown. So as long as you have your tablet, you'll always have access to it. Super easy to use filters for your name and or your DM name. So we'll show you how to do that. But basically, once you kind of go in the first time and put your information in there, it's always gonna, when you bring it back up, it's always gonna have your information on there in your stores. But you will have access if you're covering for somebody else to be able to. We'll show you how to get to that as well. Like I said, can view all your stores. You can click into a single store to look at further information, and you can see other rep stores as needed. You cannot break anything or hurt the tool or the data. So the best way to learn something like this is literally just sit there and play, press buttons, try things. You cannot hurt anything. It won't shut anything down. It won't lock you out. You really nothing you can do to upset it. So please, once you're able to get on and have access, please play around with it the best that you can, and from what we show you, the functionality. If something does look wrong, if you think something has an update, we'll show you how to hit refresh. Um, and we'll also show you, it'll show you there's a date in here. Every morning it's supposed to update it. I think it's about 4 o'clock Eastern time that it updates. So you'll be able to just verify that as well. But if something doesn't seem right, you can always refresh. It'll take a second and the data will pop back up. And then like we kind of talked about, Power BI authentication is needed for security purposes. So we'll take you through that. So to kind of wrap this up, what are we doing? Why are we doing this, and what are the benefits? So it's all about driving quality visits and orders, creating a more proactive approach to on-time service and more efficient visits, um, more information available to allow DMs and reps better communication and planning together. I mean, to be able to see everything that you see, as well as all the other reps that they work with and manage. And this is really a great tool to help prioritize, to plan, and going back to the two previous, being proactive, efficient, and driving quality visits. So being proactive, having better communication, driving more efficient and quality service will benefit LNR as well as our retail partners and their customers. Now, that's what we're in the business for. So I am going to, I don't, at this point, I just wanted to give a quick intro. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to hand it over to Linda, who a lot of you are probably familiar with. So Linda, over to you.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello. I am going to share with you where your Power BI is and how to access your new field planning tool. So I am just sharing my screen at the moment. If you'll give me a sec here. Can you all see my screen in front of you, which is our home screen? I see a head
Yes.
bobbing. Thank you for that,
Yes.
Shane. Terrific. All right, so as Mike shared with you, this is a new tool. You're seeing it for the first time. Really take an opportunity when you're done in your stores today and you're back home, you have a few quiet moments, access the Power BI, and then just start spending a little bit of time throughout your days maneuvering around through the tool. You're going to love it, but you do need to give yourselves a little bit of time to get yourselves comfortable with it. Also, at the end of training today, I'll be giving you your login and your temporary password. So at this point in time, all you should be seeing on your personal tablets is the Power BI app. All right, nothing further than that. So let's take a look at your tablets. Here on the home screen is where you're going to see Power BI. Oops, I'm going to show you a different one. So when you log onto your tablets, if you don't see the Power BI right away, go ahead and do a pull up and it'll switch the screens with the applications for you. You might even need to scroll to the right or scroll to the left and you'll have additional applications show up. Okay, many times people are stuck because they just don't know where to go to find it. So on the screen in front of us today, in the fourth row down, second from the left, you'll see the 3 gold bars. This is our Power BI application. It's our icon. So to access our new tool, I'm going to go ahead and select Power BI just by tapping on it. And it's going to bring me to my Power BI home screen, if you will. From here, I'm going to select merchandising. Now, I might have a few extra screens than what you're going to see field merchandisers on the screens you have, just because I have a few extra files that I can access. From here, up at the very top in my purple bar, you're going to see a bright pink circle, then the words merchandising dash. Then you're going to see a down arrow. So it's basically a V. I'd like for you to go ahead and tap on that V, and it will open up a box for you, which is a drop-down menu. From here is where we're going to find our new field planning tool. So go ahead and put your finger on the white box and scroll up. Do a pull up. At the very bottom of the menu is where you're going to find your new tool, Field Planning Tool Tablet. I'm going to go ahead and select it in the white box and it will load. Giving it just a moment, it'll show up. It is going to be a little small on our screen until we enlarge it. So how to enlarge it? Well, go back up to the purple bar at the top of our screen, and to the right of the words Field Planning Tool Tablet, you will see a double arrow. All right, again in the purple bar. Go ahead and tap on the double arrow and then turn your tablets sideways and you'll start seeing this new tool enlarging for you. Now we can make it a little bit bigger. So over to the right of the current screen you're looking at is a filter column. Up in the upper right corner, you see 2 arrows together pointing to the right. By tapping on those 2 double arrows, it's going to close out my filter column and enlarge in the table that I'm using. All right, now you have a better visual of our new field planning tool tablet. This, my friends, is going to be your new best friend. Basically, it's taking the place of your shipping report. Now, you're still going to receive the shipping report, but this is going to be a fabulous tool you'll want to use on a regular daily basis. At the top of the screen, it reads sales rep up there in the gray section. It has Adam's name currently. If you tap on the down arrow in that white box, you're going to see it gives several different names. Find your name, select it, And the information, the data that will pop up on the table itself will be all relevant to just you. Now, if you do need to run a filter and you want to look at your DMs area or your region or some other specific information, you can go back over to the upper right-hand corner where we have the double arrows pointing to the left this time. Tap on those, and you'll see my filter column shows up once again. And then I can just scroll down and make my selections, filtering to the specific details that I want to see, and they will then show up on the tablet in front of you. All right. This is the intro to your new tool. Nicolette and Crystal are going to take it from here, and they're going to take you even deeper into this tool and show you how you can maneuver around and the information you'll have access to. So if you sit tight, I'm going to take my screen off, and Crystal's going to take it from here.
Before Crystal goes, one thing I just want to put out there is to eliminate any worry. I mean, we're rolling this out, right? We want everybody getting up on here quickly, signed in and all that, and using it. We're not taking everything that you currently use away right away, because we know it'll take a little bit of time for everybody to transition and get on it. We still have, this is the first group that we're training. We still have 700 other people to do over the next couple of weeks, but highly encouraged. Just like Linda said, you'll love this once you start using it, and the information on here available, just making things easier. So looks like Crystal is up and ready to go, so I will turn it over to Crystal.
And it's just like Mike and Linda have said, I, in the beginning, felt overwhelmed by all of the information. Once I became familiar with it, I find myself using Power BI really for anything that I need in the day to day instead of going to multiple places to find the information. So once you become used to it, once you become familiar, you're really going to rely heavily on it because you have more information at your fingertips now than ever before. This tool is giving us more information than even some district managers have had previously. So this is going to be a huge asset to our team. I'm going to walk you guys through the DM planning tool and the shipping report today. With the DM planning tool, you can come here if you're covering for a rep and maybe you need some more in-depth information. This is also a good place to come if you just want to kind of see how you think against the other people on your team. So that you can see where you are in comparison to others. That's always a great way to help us improve. District managers will view this so that we can see kind of a snapshot of our entire area. As you can see, I have this filter to me as the district manager. I can also filter to a sales rep, and you can see that in the top bar there. You can also open up the filters on the right-hand side, and you can scroll down and filter by district manager, by rep, even by store if needed. So on this top box, you will see the first column is the sales rep. Next is the store count. So that's how many stores are assigned to each rep. The average footage that the rep works. Average in-store hours within the last 30 days. The call cycle. Average product count. The product count is the unique UPCs within the store. The percentage ordered in the last 4 call cycles. So if it is 5% or below, that means you've ordered less than 5% of the unique SKUs in the store. If there is an issue, you need to make sure you're letting your district manager know, because ordering less than 5% kind of sends out an alert where we need to look a little deeper, maybe view your photos, see what's going on, make sure that you don't need something like a planogram to place those orders. If you're ordering between 5 to 10%, it's considered yellow. So these columns just show you the number each rep has in red, the number each rep has in yellow, again, so that we can get eyes on things. Sometimes it may not be an issue at all. It may just be, especially last week in Kroger, most stores did not have cosmetics ordered at the beginning of the week. So those numbers are going to look a little lower than normal. This also shows the last order date, the count past due on red, and the count past due on yellow. So the count past due, that's the number of stores that you have that are currently late. If I
Uh-oh. Crystal, you're going in and out.
when I click on that,
There you go.
yep. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay. You were going in and out. I think you're okay. I think you're back now.
Okay. All right. So once you select the rep's name, you can, if you click on that, it opens up all of his stores below. So again, you can see the footage of each store, and this can help you prep for if you're covering for another rep. So you can come here, you can look at their stores, you can see the footage, you can see the average amount of time that they spend in the store, the amount of SKUs that are in the store, the last order date, the last delivery date, and how many days past due. So it kind of gives you a glimpse into what you're walking into if you are covering for a rep. You can see toward the bottom that Bailey has a store that is 2 days past due and it's in red. And he also has one that's 2 days past due that is yellow. The difference there is the red one has an order that has actually been received at the store and is available to service. So that makes that store a higher priority. He needs to get there a little quicker. Yellow means we need to keep an eye on it. The order's not there yet, but it is late, so we might need to look into what that reason is. Any questions about this portion before I move on to ship report or anything you'd like to add, Mike?
Yeah, the only thing, just a couple of things for clarity. So the product count, those are supposed to be the actual number of items that we service. So within the planograms that we service at Kroger, so we'll call it cosmetics, if there's Pacha soap, if there's the shoe items, trial travel. So that's what those are supposed to be. It's supposed to be aligned to the grid slash number of items that we're servicing in that store, which I think is a kind of a good thing to see. And then just as so you can tell, you can see with it where Crystal clicked on up top, it grayed out that person, and then you can see the same name in the bottom. Can you just to show it, Crystal, can you click on Janice a couple down? So again, if you're covering for somebody, um, you can easily get the access to see their stores and what's going on. So, and then kind of, you're not familiar with the route, you're not necessarily familiar when she ordered and things like that. So this obviously gives you all that information, and then you can kind of, I don't think can you click? It doesn't look like, did it bring it up properly?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Um, so again, like let's say you're going in for, it's like, oh, we got a store in red down there. So let's take a peek at it, but it doesn't look like it's been received yet. So really, really good stuff here. But again, for the most part, this is what the district managers are using to work with you guys with you all out in the field, and then really for you to come in if you're trying to help out with somebody. And then just another call out, you can see down on along the bottom where there's the green bar. So that's kind of how you go from tab to tab. So you can see right now, Crystal's clicked on the DM planning tool. Just for fun, Crystal, I know I think you're gonna hand it off to Nicolette, but just click on the shipping report, just so they can see how that moves around at the bottom to get to the different tools that we're gonna show. So that's all that I wanted to comment here. The only other thing I don't know if you said this, Crystal. As I mentioned earlier, you can see a lot of the date stamp up in the top right in the green. So this shows as of 4/3, which is today at 4 a.m. This actually everything updated on here. So if something doesn't look right, that's the first thing that I'm looking at to make sure that it updated properly from the day before. So I'll turn it back over to y'all.
Okay, perfect. And next, I'm going to cover the shipping report with you guys. So before we get started with this, I also want to cover the order status mapping,
Yeah.
because as you can see on the shipping report, it lists out the rep name, the store number, you can see the city, the order number, order type, and order status. So order status, this is more involved than we've ever had before. As you guys are all aware, previously we did not receive any kind of information on our order until it was actually in UPS's hands. Well, now if you click on order status mapping, which is the last option on the bottom right, this is kind of a key on how to read what that means. So the order status, if it's open, that means the rep has actually placed the order. And that's as far as we've gotten with it. The rep's placed the order, nothing has happened at the warehouse yet. Released means the order is open and it's ready to be picked, or it's in queue to be picked. Invoice means the order is no longer open, it's been invoiced, it's ready to ship. In transit means that UPS actually has it in their hands. Delivered means that it's arrived at the store. Received is more for the EDI date, is more for Kroger banner. So the EDI date is acknowledged that Kroger has received the package. And merchandise means there's been a merchandiser service call after the EDI receipt. So now I'm going to select ship report on the bottom again to return to that. So now you can see the order status, you see the order date, the ship by date, and the ship date. So this actually lets you know, hey, I placed an order on 3/21. It's supposed to ship by 3/25, and it actually did ship on 3/25. So you can see that things are right on schedule. If there is a store, like you can see a few below, store 457 was supposed to ship by 3/18. It did not ship until 3/20. So you know that that store was a little bit delayed getting out the door at the warehouse. So it just lets you know if things are on track, if they're delayed, if they're moving a little quicker, so that you can better prepare your schedules. It also shows the number of packages, the tracking number, and this tracking number is a hyperlink that if you click it, it still takes you to UPS's website. The expected delivery date, the actual delivery date, who signed for it, the receive date, and the next order date are all listed here. The really cool thing for Kroger is if you select the store and hold down with your finger, drill through will pop up. If you select drill through, select order details, and this will open that order for you to look at. So you can see across the top, this is for store 457. It is no longer open. It shows the invoice number, the ship date, and that it's actually delivered. Down here on the bottom, under ship quantity, if I select that, it will filter it for me and sort it. I'm going to select it again so that I can see if there's any zeros. So you can see at the top that Bailey ordered 3 of the CC Cream Camo Light and 0 shipped. It's not obsolete, so we know that it'll ship once it's back in stock at the warehouse level. So that's the really great thing for Kroger, is now we have visibility to what we've ordered versus what's actually shipped, and if it's obsolete or if it's temporary manufacturer out of stock or whatever that reason in the far column, it'll detail out if there's a different reason. So just more information than we've ever had before. Any questions on that? Or anything you would like to add, Mike?
No, I think, I mean, this is huge. Because I know a lot of times you make a nice big order and then, 90% of it comes in. So now you just kind of have an understanding of what doesn't come in. In a lot of cases, there will be a description in there as to why it didn't come, but as you saw, in some cases there is not. But I mean, that's just also a clue. And as you're ordering, those are most likely you're probably gonna end up ordering those again because you ordered them last time for a reason. Unfortunately, they didn't come in, so please just keep ordering those. So, and like Crystal said, there's just so much good information on here to be able to look at different things. Even the order type is great, because if we're every now and then we do some reset or some pull and plug work, you can go in here and filter an order type and look for distros and things like that. But please play around with this. So much good information on here. Right at your fingertips, and we'll keep working with you all to make sure everybody understands how to use this. Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, sure. Nicolette?
me go ahead and share my screen. And I know everyone on this call currently reports to either Sherry or Tara, so I figured we'll use one of Tara's sales reps. So right now we're going over the field planning tool tablet. On the top, you can do the down arrow, and I can go back and forth between the different items that we're going to be going through. So right now I'm going to be going through FM planning tool, but then you can see on the bottom that you can also select it that way. So if I'm looking at my screen right now, can't really see it in large detail. So I'm just going to flip my tablet over so I can see it better that way. I'm trying to get you off of the screen. Okay, you're gonna be on the screen for right now, Shane. I can't get you. Oh, wait, I
There
think
you
I
go.
got
There should be a little
Okay.
X.
She got
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Sorry, Shane.
So you're looking at my tablet right now. On the right, you'll see filters. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. And I've already selected Tara as district manager on here. So you can definitely select your district manager first, so then you can see all the stores assigned to that specific district manager. And then what I did is I saw who was on this call, who was assigned to Tara, and I picked Nate. So we're going to look at Nate's stores today. So
Sorry,
I'm going to go
Nate.
ahead and close this filter right now so I can make my screen as large as I can. And if for some reason I wanted to change between different sales reps, I'm just going to do the drop down and I would select a different sales rep that I want to look at. And that's really nice if you're covering stores for different people. So imagine this field planning tool is going to be a combination of your Repsly scheduler, which a lot of you in this area use right now, and your shipping report. So it's going to be combined information right now. So this is definitely going to be a go-to when you are planning your day and your week. So looking at this specific rep under Nate right now, we see that he's assigned 3 different stores. We see where they're located, the number of feet, and the number of hours that he's spending. So even if you are covering a store for another person, it's nice to see how many hours this rep is normally spending there. Because we know if we look in Repsly, it just tells us the number of minutes, but it doesn't break it down by hours and minutes. Call cycles, the product count is going to be the same thing that Crystal went over. That's going to be the unique number of SKUs. And then it's also going to be telling you the percentage that you ordered in the last 4 call cycles. So great job, Nate, on this Safeway store. You ordered over 50% of all the unique SKUs. So every single column here is able to be sorted individually. So if I were a rep, I'd always like to know, where am I going to be going tomorrow? Where am I going next week? So what I would do is go to the column that says next order date. And I am going to go ahead and sort by that date right now. So you can see I went back and forth, and I want to know what store is due next. So looking at that, it's telling me that Safeway 2083 is due for service tomorrow. So Nate knows exactly where he needs to go tomorrow. That store is due for service. And then if they had a delivery, it's going to be telling me when their last load arrived. What I just did right now is I selected the store on the top, and then it gave me some more detail on the bottom. So on the bottom, it's telling me, well, the delivery is not even going to be there until tomorrow. But I can at least see that. And then on the bottom, I'm also seeing that it's 2 boxes that are coming and exactly when it's shipped and so forth. So this is, again, going to be combining your Repsly scheduler with your ship report. So this is great information to have. And then at the top, we can also select the fry store that Nate services and see that it's next due for service on the 5th, which is, I'm sure he's planning already on going there this Friday. And then if I'm selecting it on the top, it's going to tell me when it delivered. And if I'm looking at the bottom, it looks like it's going to deliver on the 3rd, which is right on schedule. Any questions about this, or Mike, do you want to add anything?
Something looks weird with that first line at the bottom.
With that delivery date?
Yeah.
Well, we can see that there's another one though, the 3rd line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the correct one there.
And you guys can see there's different for this one store. It shows all the different, there was a regular order, a distro went out that was released on ship by date of 4/4. That could be, since it's a fries, that could be Pacha for the, or MCO for the skincare reset. So
and I'll go ahead and select that to show that.
Okay.
So yeah, you're seeing on the bottom order type, it's saying regular distribution, regular reset. So if I was Nate, I was like, what is this distribution order coming my way? So I'm going to go ahead and just put my finger over the order number, which is 804482. Oops, hold on. My finger does not want to cooperate right now.
And also, Mike and Nicolette, the reason that first one is still there from January is because that invoice has not been paid for yet. So we opted to leave those on until the invoices are paid.
Oh, nice. So I'm selecting order details specifically for this distro order. And so I'm looking at all of these items that are coming in this distro order right now. So it looks like a lot of L'Oreal and then e.l.f. products and nails. So maybe this store is having a sale coming up. We're sending out a distro. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder what that is. But
And
you can at least, I
sometimes
mean,
we know that the
you can at least see in
merchandising,
it.
yeah, well, sometimes we know merchandising team doesn't find out about all the distros. So by looking at this field planning tool, you can see exactly when you're receiving a distro. And this particular one, you know, was put in all the way in March and it's just shipping out now.
Can you click in the reset one?
Sure.
For fries, see what's in there. So you can see it'll pop up a screen, and then you click on drill through, and then you click on order details.
Then.
Cover girl. Okay.
So we're finding out information right now, seeing why is this reset, you know, product coming right now. So that would be great for Nate to know to expect these items to be coming.
I have a question. This is Mike Russell. If the shipment is a distribution that's not something we merchandise, it's just being sent to the store, is that indicated anywhere?
So distributions can be different. Sometimes Compass is going to be setting those distribution items. You know, like right now we're receiving a bunch of specialty bath product. We're also receiving distros of Pasha soap right now that merchandisers are doing. So I would just always, you know, defer to your DM for specific instructions on what we're doing with the distro.
Okay, thank you.
And then the only other thing just on here from a sales rep perspective, like I said before, when you're in the FM planning tool, once you put your name into up top, and whether you select it or search on it, so in this case, every time this rep comes back in, you know, in terms of on their tablet, it'll automatically come back to them specifically. You shouldn't have to reset that every time. The only time you would have to do that is, Nicolette, do you want to just show how to reset filters and basically what it does?
Sure. So I went ahead and cleared out Tara's name.
Or show them the up in the purple, was it the third one in on the right side, the third icon with the little arrow? I don't know if you can hover over it with your cursor.
That the reset to default?
Yeah. If you ever just want to completely clear, it's you have the up and down arrow, then you have the thing that kind of looks like a little diagram, and then there's the arrow that, you know, is kind of almost a circle. When you click that, it's going to say reset to default, and you can say reset, and it clears everything if you just kind of want to start over to make sure everything is loaded properly. And then you can go put your name back in if you ever needed to just kind of do a reset.
And like Mike was saying, you can't break this, so definitely play around with it.
Yep.
So we are going to switch over now from the field planning tool tablet to store grid data. So I can either get to that by going to the top in purple, where right now it says field planning tool tablet, and I can go ahead and select store grid data there, or I can select the store grid data on the bottom. So I'll go ahead and select it on the bottom this time. So we are going to use Nate's stores because we already used him. So I am first going to pull up one of the stores he services, which is store 2083. I'm going to find that from the drop down, and I'm just going to put in that store number. I could also do it on the filter as well. I'm going to go ahead and hide that filter so we
Hey,
can
Nicolette?
see this.
Yeah, thanks. I was just going to ask you to do that so I can see.
So this is going to be all of the grids that are currently assigned to this specific Safeway store. So looking at the top, I see there's two specific planograms assigned here. One looks like it's for cosmetics and the other for Goody Hair Care. So we can see the width of these sections, the last time we placed an order there, how many lines we placed an order for. And then also that nice column that says the percentage of items ordered in the last 4 call cycles. And these are great percentages that Nate did for both of these sections. I want everyone to focus on the last column here that says PDF URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that. It's like a little 2 paper clips, and select the one under hair accessories vendor. So I went ahead. Oh, this is not a good example. This is saying item not found. Let's try the other one. So we're going to try the cosmetic one, and I'm going to do the same thing, just selecting those paper clips. So this is going to direct me to the exact planogram that is associated with this store. So this is very nice information to have, especially for the Kroger end. And Nate, does this look like what it looks like in your store right now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we all know that sometime, oh, go ahead, Nate.
Okay, actually, the lashes, I don't have the Duo product. I don't have, I think I have most of the other stuff, but my nail stuff and the, oh, what is it? The fake nails and the nail polish are all on a separate set from the other cosmetic. They're basically on a separate wall.
Did the store kind
Okay,
of do their,
gotcha.
did the store do their own thing or something in terms of space?
I have one long wall that has most of my regular cosmetic product, and then you basically turn a corner and they have another set that has all my the kiss and the nail polish and all that stuff on that wall.
Yes, it was a space and location issue.
Yeah.
But so let's say that the reset has happened, and I don't think I mentioned this, but this specific planogram right now, it's saying it's spring 2023. The new planogram is going to load on the date, the original date that RMSI or SAS gave us, the date they were doing the reset. So maybe you're going to pull this up and your reset wasn't done yet, but it was supposed to be, according to the dates that we originally were given. So this one's going to be for spring 2023. We know that not always when the store or the reset companies are there resetting, they don't always leave scan tags. So this would be a nice thing to go to so we can easily order for the specific item and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and choose a different store now. Let's choose a Kroger store. So I'm going to go again back to the top. And instead of looking at Safeway 2083, I'm going to select Nate's Fry Store 059. There we go. And that's going ahead and loading right now. So this store obviously has a lot more planograms associated with it. Normally, we do not have very easy access to the planograms assigned to any specific Kroger store. So this definitely is a game changer for all the reps in the field. So looking at the top, we can see every single planogram that's associated with this specific store. So let's go ahead and look at the first one, just being L'Oreal Cosmetics. And I'm seeing to the right-hand side where it says PDF URL, I see that paper clip there. So I know that I have access to a planogram. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then it's pulling up the planogram that is specifically associated with L'Oreal at this store. This is very, very nice because it's so difficult to get planograms for Kroger stores. I'm going to go back to show you a little bit more what we can do in Power BI. So what I'm going to do now, because we already looked at the L'Oreal, is I am going to just select L'Oreal from the top, and then you'll see the bottom of my screen is going to start populating that. These are going to be all 292 lines that are available for Nate to order every single time he's at the store. Again, all of these columns, I can press on the column and it's going to sort for me. So if I wanted to know what the last item shipped was, I can go to the column that just says last shipped, sort by that. I'm going to resort. And it's going to tell me that it was mascara that recently shipped. I can also resort on that and see all of these items that didn't ship. So that's really nice to know as well. Looking still at the bottom, if you guys can please look at the two columns that say obsolete reason and then not authorized to ship reason. So we know when we're looking at the Kroger invoices, we have no idea when an item ships or when it doesn't ship. We don't have that information like we do for the Safeway Albertsons accounts. So this is going to be telling us why an item may have not shipped. I'm going to look specifically at the not authorized to ship reason. And a basic rule of thumb here is if there is anything in that column, it is not going to ship to the store. And it doesn't look like Nate has any problems at this store because I see nothing in the column that says not authorized to ship reason. And I'm going ahead and refreshing that as well. So which means pretty much anything he's ordering, he should be receiving at this store. So let's go back now to the top of this because we looked at L'Oreal. So let's go ahead and select Revlon. Now we can see for Revlon, there's no paperclip in the column that says PDF URL. No worries though, there's going to be another way that we can find planograms there. So what I'm going to be doing now is putting my finger over where it says the plan number that's specifically associated with Revlon. So 728438. I'm going to hold my finger over there, and then I'm going to select drill through, and then select the planogram PDFs. It's now going to bring me to another page of all of the planograms that are associated with Maybelline. So you can see there's just 2 different planograms here. I'm going to select the one that is most relevant, which would be 2024. And this is another way that I can get planograms for this specific store. So this is great information to have because it's so difficult to get cosmetic planograms for Kroger. So I'm now going to show you another way that we can specifically use this planogram to then order and place on our order in Repsley. So give me 1 second because I want to open to this specific store in Repsley.
While she's going there, any questions so far? No, I know this is a lot, but some really good stuff and access to information that we haven't had in the past. I'll take the silence as a good thing.
So I'm getting in my order screen in this particular store, obviously going into all products. Now I'm going to go back to back to the planogram. So let's say I wanted to order the very first thing here, the products added to planogram. I can again put my finger on top of that UPC, and I hope my finger cooperates. I'm wanting it to say copy. I'm going to try a different one. Make it a little bigger there.
That's weird. Because Crystal was able to do it before.
I think I might just be pressing it too hard. Linda, can you walk me through? Let me see if this one has any scan tags on here.
No.
Or I'm sorry, barcodes. It doesn't look like it on this
No,
one.
it's usually the Albertson Safeway ones that have them, not the Kroger, unfortunately.
Okay. Let me try opening one more planogram to see, so I can show you guys exactly how we can copy this information and put it directly into Repsley. So I'm just going to select a different planogram for this particular store. Again, there was nothing in the PDF URL, so I'm just selecting drill through, selecting the different planogram PDFs, and then I'll select the most recent one, which for this is 2023. So Trial and Travel did an update yet for 2024, which is why we have this older one here. Opening this planogram. I'm pressing this UPC a bunch of times and it doesn't want to accept it. Go ahead, Mike.
We'll let you take your
one
mouse
yeah.
and try to
I'm
highlight
doing
it.
it on my tablet right now.
Oh, sorry.
Nicholas, scroll down further because you want to select it from the regular planogram, not from the places that it's adding
Not
it.
that.
Oh,
So
there you
here,
go. Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
let's try that.
I think it's because it's in an actual cell.
Yeah.
No. Still not. Oh, it's...
I'm going to go
Sorry.
back to an Albertson store because I know it works with those for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, y'all. We should be able to highlight that and hit copy and then paste that UPC into Repsly in the search bar, and it'll pop it. It'll find the item.
We may need to report that. I was testing it earlier today after our first session, and I had the same problem Nicolette's experiencing.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
Crystal was able to do
I
it.
know. I remember
Crystal,
that
were
during
you
the
on your
class.
tablet?
I was on my tablet. I wonder if it's maybe a tablet setting that we're not aware of.
That could be. I'm going to try to just pull up a different planogram. Toys I know should work. And I know that this isn't specifically tied to the store, but we're just going to use it for illustrative purposes. Okay, so you guys see that I went to the UPC specifically, and I just put my finger over that, and then I'm just going to select copy. Then I'm going to go back to Repsly. Obviously, the store, though, I'm going to doesn't carry toys, but I just want to show you this for illustrative purposes. I already selected all products. I'm then going to go ahead and use the magnifying glass in the top right. And then I'm going to put my finger there again. And then it's going to say paste. And so then I can go ahead and select that. And then add this to the cart. And this is a fry store, so this isn't going to come up as an item because we don't have toys there. Linda, can you walk me through, and this will be good for the reps on the call right now, how we're going to use, scanning the individual items?
I'm sorry, I'm not tracking with you, Nicolette. How you're going to do what?
So if I have a planogram pulled up, so let's say a toy planogram pulled up, and I want to do a split screen so I can be ordering and putting it in the store at the same time. And I'm just going to go into order for right now.
So to run a split screen, you have 3 black lines down in the lower left. You need to already have the screen open on your tablet. Then go into your order screen, which is where you're going now. And then you would tap on the 3 black lines and it'll run a dual screen. So you'll have your order screen on the right, and on the left, you would see your planogram, let's say. So you have a visual of both screens at the same time. So you could be scanning off the left side and see it populating on the right side of your screen.
And
So
Linda, what am I pressing on this screen right now?
You would go down to the 3 black bars down at the lower left, to the left of the square, yes. And then you want to select which one you're going to utilize. So maybe a planogram there. Now hit your 3 black lines again. It should be separating them and run a split screen for you. So if you want to go back to your order screen, it should be running a split screen for you right there.
I'm pressing that button. Now I'm selecting this planogram.
The 3 lines split your screen for you. That's what runs as split. So let me see why that's not running it for you. I may need to play with that here on my tablet so I can show you.
Okay.
And I don't want to hold up the sake of the class, so you can keep going if you want, and I'll work it out here on my tablet.
So ideally, the screen is going to split where then I have these barcodes on one side, the order screen on another side. So I can go ahead and just scan directly from this planogram, and it's going to place it in my order. So that's very nice. So you're not having to write down things and go back and forth.
Correct. Mhm.
Just a reminder for everybody, those scan bars are not in every planogram. They're usually only going to be in Albertsons Safeway for now. But then the backup plan is to always copy and paste in the UPC. This is just really good because it's so much easier. Let's say a reset was just done and you're missing a few scan labels. You know, you could pop open and there's nothing there, so you can't scan the product. So you can then open up the planogram. You just need to confirm that it's the most, it's the season that we're in. So if 2024 was just set, you want to make sure the planogram's from 2024. And then in most cases, copy and paste that UPC in there.
So the main takeaways for this store grid information is you're going to be using this by specific store. You're going to be looking for the paper clip that's in the far right where it says PDF URL. If you're not seeing a paper clip there, you're going to use the column that's to the far left that says plan number. You're going to put your finger on that to select it, and then select drill through to planogram PDFs. And it'll bring you to another page with multiple PDFs, and you'll go ahead and select whatever is the most current one. And then if you want to drill down into any specific item, I keep ordering this, why am I not receiving it? You're going to select the planogram from the top, and then it'll give you more detailed information at the bottom. And Mike, did you want to add anything? And does anyone have any questions about this specific feature?
No, I'm good. This is just one of those things to play around with and get comfortable with is all that I want to say. But it's great information, much easier than having to try to go to iNet, figure out the mapping and things like that. So super happy to be able to get this out. And then from an Albertsons Safeway perspective, if you service those stores, do remember we also pushed out the planogram link icon to the tablets. So you can also get to Albertsons Safeway planograms right now, cosmetics, as well as toys and playing cards are on there as well at store level. But this is easier to use on the field planning tool.
For sure.
Any questions about grids, planograms, anything like that? Linda, were you up next with the authentication piece?
Yes, I'm actually not giving the authentication, but I am going to give the login and the password. So if we're all
Gotcha.
done with the authenticate or with the sharing of the field planning tool, I'll need to turn off the recording.
Yeah.
Okay.